Hey guys, Dave here from Black Stump Ballistics, and today I want to talk with you about the ZeroTech Vengeance family of scopes. The ZeroTech Vengeance family of scopes is a little bit more varied than the Thrives, but they're all based around that pop-locked style of turret that's so popular with modern target shooters. At the bottom of the range, they've got their 3 to 12 by 40 and their 4.5 to 18 by 40. These are very competitively priced, entry-level scopes with a 1-inch main tube, pop-lock turrets, and either a duplex or that PHR-1 reticle. These scopes are a great option if you just want to stick a scope on your rifle and don't want to think about it too much. The next big jump up in the Vengeance scopes is that 4 to 20 by 50 power. These are a great entry-level target scope with the same pop-lock turrets and a 30mm main tube, giving you plenty of adjustment. You've got a choice of 2 different reticles, and they're both available with illumination as an optional extra. The reticle's in the second focal plane, which keeps it nice and fine, but you will only be able to use it for measuring when you're zoomed all the way into 20 power. I've got my 4 to 20 by 50 in the R3 reticle, which is sort of a traditional minute of angle reticle. But this scope is also available in the PHR-2 reticle, which is a bit more simple and has quick 5-minute of angle holdovers. ZeroTech have recently released a couple of new scopes in the Vengeance range, including a 1 to 6 by 24 and a 5 to 25 by 56 with a 34mm main tube and a first focal plane reticle. I won't be going into these in too much detail, as I haven't tried them yet, but more information on those two later on in the video. Now, on to the hands-on stuff. I had a bit of a play with the ZeroTech Vengeance 4.5 to 18 by 40 last year, while I was preparing a video for a different rifle. And there's nothing particularly remarkable about these scopes. They're just a decent value entry-level scope. They've got the same pop-lock turrets as my 4 to 20 by 50, but they come with a smaller 1-inch main tube. This doesn't actually make the scopes any darker, but it might affect your elevation and windage adjustment, and restricts these scopes to smaller, simpler reticles. The smaller tube makes things a little bit lighter and a little bit cheaper, and also makes your scope rings a bit cheaper. And it's not really a problem for scopes like this, because after all, how much adjustment do you really need? They've got that same side focus parallax adjustment, just like the Thrive scopes, as well as having the same nice big ocular and long eye relief. Stepping up a bit, we've got my 4 to 20 by 50 power. Now this one has a very similar range of features to the last scopes, but it's all just a little bit bigger. It's got a 30mm main tube, a big 50mm main objective, the same comfortable eyepiece and eye relief, and those target style pop-lock turrets. The clicks on these are nice and positive feeling, nice and easy to count, and once the turret's locked into place, you're not going to move it accidentally. These turrets, combined with that 30mm main tube, give you plenty of elevation and windage adjustment, and I was recently able to get this scope out to 1 kilometre. The side focus parallax adjustment is just like the others. And that zoom dial and diopter adjustment are equally well made, with very little play. The illumination feature in this scope is quite nicely laid out, and instead of the push button that most other scopes will have, this has a 12 position dial, and each of the 6 brightness settings has its own off position. This way you don't have to cycle through every different brightness setting just to turn it off, and I think this is quite well thought out. Now I'm not going to shoot this rifle with the phone scope on, as that system doesn't like too much recoil, but it is good at showing you what the different reticles look like. As I mentioned earlier, I've got mine with the R3 reticle. Each big hash is 4 minutes of angle, and the finer ones are each worth 1 minute of angle when you're zoomed into 20 power. Now, there are 2 more Vengeance scopes that I wasn't able to test for this video, but I am hoping to have a look at them soon. The Vengeance 1-6x24 is a scope that's going to appeal to a lot of different shooters. I reckon this scope would go great on a slug gun, or maybe a 30-30 lever action. Other shooters might like it for a clip-on night vision optic, or maybe as a close-range target scope. It's got this fairly unique second focal plane reticle, it's got illumination, and it's going to appeal to quite a lot of different shooters. And, more excitingly, as I was in the production phase for this video, they released a new Vengeance scope, the 5-25x56, with a 34mm main tube in the first focal plane, and this one's going to tick a lot of boxes for a lot of different target shooters. It's got their RMG reticle, measuring in mil-radians, nice big turrets with 0.1 mil-radian adjustment clicks, it's got a zero stop, and that huge 34mm main tube, which is going to give you heaps of adjustment. This scope kind of fills a gap in the ZeroTech lineup, and it's all available for only $900. Quite a good price point for a scope that seems to be so capable. Well anyway folks, that just about wraps up my look at the ZeroTech Vengeance lineup of scopes. Thanks for watching, and be sure to tune in next time when I demonstrate some of the ZeroTech Thrive HD scopes.